Hey there, and welcome back into the Direct Selling Accelerator podcast. My name is Sam Hind, and I am very excited to introduce this very special guest to all of you today. Now, I know that every time we start one of these podcast interviews, we sort of set off on one track and we end up in a completely different space. But this is one of those interviews where not only did I have a lot of fun, but I think I left feeling inspired, motivated, joyful, all because this person brings all of those things into her own business. So today I'm going to be chatting with the gorgeous Jacqui Burns from Senegence. Jacqui has had an incredible journey in her business, which she's going to share with us in this interview, and I can't wait for you to listen in. But don't forget to have a pen and paper ready, because Jacqui also shares some amazing little golden nuggets. I'm all about the golden nuggets. She shares some amazing little golden nuggets that I think could make a huge difference in your business just by taking a few of those things and implementing them, trialing them out, testing them out, having a little play. And I think that's exactly what she's done in her business. And as a result, well, you'll hear all about it as you listen on in. So join me, have a little listen, and I can't wait to introduce you to the beautiful Jacqui Burns. Welcome back to the Direct Selling Accelerator podcast. I am absolutely super excited to introduce you to one of Australia's top leaders with Senegence, the beautiful Jacqui Burns. Welcome on in, Jacqui. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm pretty excited about this.
Now, I'm actually really excited about this conversation because, as always, we've just had a little bit of a preliminary chat, and I'm already know we're going to get some amazing gold nuggets. I love these interviews because loads of gold nuggets always come out. This is an opportunity for us to talk a little bit about your amazing journey in the business. And can I just start by saying I'm a little bit blown away because as we were talking, and Jacqui and I met maybe around about 6 months ago, I feel like, at the conference you guys did, the first virtual conference you guys had, and we came along and spoke for that. I can't even remember how long ago that was. It was during COVID. I know that much.
I think it was July last year.
Okay. Oh my gosh, nearly a year ago.
Oh, time flies.
So what I didn't know about you, Jacqui, is that now can you just tell me how long have you been in the business for?
I joined April 21st, 2015. So I'm coming into my 7th year of direct selling and Senegence.
Wow. Okay. So Senegence is your first and only direct selling business?
It is, yes.
Well, there's a conversation there in itself. We'll get to that. But I just want to start, actually, that makes this even more amazing. So in your first year with the business, your team, you've just told me, achieved over $600,000 in your first 12 months. And then every year after that, tell me if I get this wrong, you guys have achieved over $2 million in sales each year for the last 5 years. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. And what I will just add in there is that's US dollars.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So American company, American dollars.
Yep.
So it's when we talk about makeup and skincare in Australian dollars, it's a lot of it.
Yeah, that is absolutely mind-blowing. So can you just start by telling me, let's just go back a little step. So you joined the business as your first ever direct selling business. Now, we had a little bit of a chat before about, and you mentioned the stigma of direct selling, etc. Why did you make the decision to jump in? And was it an easy decision to make? Or, was there a little bit of that stigma attached for you jumping in?
I have to have a giggle because my entry into this business is a little bit hilarious. I just bought some lipstick. I saw some lipstick on the internet. I saw a video and I thought, I want to see if it's legit because I wasn't 100% sure. It could have just been one of those dodgy China jobs and, knockoff type things that don't work. And I ordered some and I wore it for a day and it never moved. I kept sending my little sister selfies from underneath my desk at work, up the nose shots just to say, look, it's still on. When I got home, I knew I needed more colors. So I jumped on and I was just going to order some more. And I just happened to see something at the bottom of an email that the lady that I bought from had sent me. And it's, if you love your lipsticks, you should get your own account. And I had a quick look at that and realized that I could do an order and get 50% off. So I ordered 24 lipsticks in one go.
Oh my gosh.
No glosses, right? So I had one gloss and now I have 27 colors. So in hindsight, it wasn't smart, but I was excited. And what happened was I'd be telling everyone about it. I was telling everyone at work. I was showing them at work. I had a bright red lipstick on that wasn't smudging. And pretty much any person I walked into, they would comment on it because I didn't wear red lipstick for a reason. It ended up everywhere. So the fact that I just wouldn't shut up about this amazing product and then people wanted to buy it made me think I can send these people to this lady that I have never met and I don't know her. Or I could just put an order in and I'll get this stuff for these people. And then I'll have some extra cash to be able to buy some extra things for myself. And then I sat down with my husband and I said to him, you know what? I actually think that this has potential to be a bit of a fun side hobby for me. As at the time, I was a mum with 2 young children. So, you know, we're talking, my kids are now 8 and 10. So 6 years ago, they were a lot younger. I have a 10-year-old that's on the spectrum. So I just had nothing for me. I had a government day job. I had 2 young children. So I was mum, I was wife, I was boss, I was an employee, but I had nothing for me. So I thought, this is fun. And I was enjoying it. And I loved helping people pick colors. And then it was a very quick switch. I started a business page really quickly. And then I just started having fun with it and let it roll from there. And you know what the first thought that came into my mind was, I didn't actually want to be part of any direct selling company. I didn't want to be part of it. And I ignored my upline for about 3 weeks because I'm like, leave me alone, you crazy lipstick lady. I don't want to be part of it. And then she got me hook, line and sinker when she'd emailed me, she'd texted me and I was ignoring her. And then she got me on Facebook and said, you know, I want you to join my Facebook group because you're in my top 5 and I wanted to celebrate. And I was like, oh, I'm in. Okay.
So it was the recognition that drew you in. That was it. That was what you
had no idea I was a recognition junkie until
I love it. So you've accidentally fallen into the business essentially through love of the product. Can I just say, I think that's a really good reminder for all of us that those that build the most successful business often, not always, but often are those that are just diehard fans of the product. So I love that. But just you mentioned that, you know, you didn't want to be in a team and, you know, obviously she hooked you in with the recognition thing. So that's great to know. But when it comes to building a team, one of the other things you mentioned to me before, because I asked the question, well, how big is your team? If you guys are achieving over $2 million, how big is your team? And you said, oh, around about 1,000 people right now. And my question to you is, how did you go from I'm just buying lipsticks for family and friends and people that want them to I'm building a team? What happened? What was the transition for you?
For me, since my journey was I fell in love with the product, decided to join and create a business out of it. I wanted to give everybody that choice to be able to do that. So I never nitpicked. I never wanted to cherry pick, I think is more the term I'm looking for. Oh, I want her. She's going to be an amazing business builder. I don't think like that because I think that if no one would have looked at me and thought I would have been an amazing business builder, I was just some government employee who was terrible at makeup 6 years ago. And it wouldn't have been a picture anyone painted for me that I would have thought was reality. So I don't judge a single person. I let everybody into the business and give them the opportunity to say, this is what you can do with it if you want it. And then I let them make those decisions for themselves. And it's just proven to be just the best way for my team. So we started small. I recruited a couple of people in my first month because I gave them the same choice that I was given. Thank goodness. And then it just kept going from there because they would offer that same choice to other people. And it just, and I just feel like you just don't know what's inside of people. They may have their own reasons. And I know that I thrive on a few different things in this business, but other people, they might need the money. And so they absolutely hustle for that reason. They might need the sisterhood and they just want to be part of something big like that. They may be saving for a holiday. You just don't know what people want.
What's going on for them. I love that. And I love that you've made it as simple as it's just offering a choice. It's not pushing people. It's not hounding people. It's just saying, hey, you've got this option or this option. And That's a really good reminder, Jacqui, that not everybody, you don't know what's going on in their world. And I think sometimes that little self-talk we've got going in the back of our mind, that we all have got that going on for us in some way, shape, or form, that's saying, prejudging what a person's going to say or think before you ask the question. You're afraid of the no, or the what are they going to say, or I don't want them to think this or think that. So I love that you've made it as simple as, I'm just giving them a choice.
And I give them the choice a lot. Like they might say no to me the first time, the second, third, fourth, fifth, but I keep offering because life changes too. And they may have been thinking about it for a while. And if you don't keep offering the choice, then they're going to think that you don't want them anymore too. Yeah. And there's self-doubt in a lot of their minds as well. I can't do what you do.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know I could do what I did.
Well, let's go back to that, because one of the things that you did mention as well, and I love the pre-chats. I said to you, we've got to be careful we don't talk too much before we start, because all the good stuff comes out then. So we're going to repeat. But you mentioned that Senegence had a boom. Did you say that was in 2016, 17?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So it was just before you started with the business. Sorry, you started just before that boom happened.
Correct.
And I asked you, why do you think the business had a boom? So can you repeat what you said, what you feel happened over that period?
This is my theory because I got to experience it all.
Yeah.
In that
perfect
time,
timing for you.
Yeah, it worked a treat, except going through an out of stock ellipse was not a fun experience.
The out of stock ellipse. Yeah.
That's what we called it, where all the products were sold out and you had to dive in and get whatever you could at any time. It was like
situation ever, in a way.
Bad for your blood pressure, and no, that wasn't fun. So back then, when we first started doing videos, that was before lives even existed, right? So there wasn't even lives. That wasn't a thing. It was just videos. So they were very rare on Facebook. So if you were game enough to get yourself to do a video and pop it up, you would actually get some really significant reach back then. And my thought is that the good old swipe test, the one that says, look, it doesn't come off, that is what went nuts. It went viral. And I think that there was quite a few key individuals in Australia that were doing it, and in America. And it just boomed and went crazy, and everyone was jumping on the bandwagon then. Now times have changed a little bit more. There's obviously a lot more content that's available, and algorithms are now playing a part as well. So we want to make sure, Facebook are trying to make sure that people are getting into their feed the things that they want to see more of, their own little echo chambers. And it can be harder to get our messages and our content across. So it doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means that we need to make sure we're delivering valuable content, entertaining content, and things that people want to see.
And it's interesting you say that, because I mentioned we've had loads of people say to us, particularly in the last 12 months, I think because everything went so online last year, there were still many people that just weren't taking that leap into having their business on social media. But last year, everyone got forced into a position where it was either you do it or you die, one or the other. You can't keep your business going if you're going to keep it as 100% in person. You need to have an online element. And I think what happened was it also created an even busier environment from a sales perspective on social media. And a lot of people are saying to us now, Facebook doesn't work anymore. And the reason they're saying that is because back in 2016, 2017, even 2018, video and Facebook content, you could, and I mentioned this before, you could accidentally become successful on social media back then, because it was a much quieter environment. There weren't as many people out there. But now, accidental, not so likely. You've actually got to be strategic. And it's not that it doesn't work. It's just that I think the playing field is evened out. How would you think that's probably about where it's at now? Is that your observation as well?
100%, I would agree with that. It is, back then, not as many people would have had the confidence to be putting themselves out online. And now we're in an era where self-confidence is coming up and people are feeling better about themselves, which is fantastic. And because people did have to learn to come online last year in crazy COVID times, it has totally increased the traffic. So now it's going to be our jobs to make sure that we are providing that valuable content. And how do we stand out from the crowd, and how are we going about being consistent in our approach to our social media?
Yep, I love that. So let's talk about valuable content for a moment, because I know we're going off track here, but valuable content is me too, my favorite thing. So one of the things that we're constantly preaching is value, be always providing value. How do you go about ensuring that you're providing value through your social media?
The biggest thing that I do is work out what has gone well. So I try different things, and I insert different things into my social media and just see what works. It's like, you throw a few things at the wall and what do you get a good reaction about?
Yep.
And to be honest, it's just, for me in my industry, it's pretty much all things skin, beauty, makeup. Some of my highest videos, my biggest reach videos, have included my husband doing makeup. And I know they want to see him. He's getting really good at it.
Your husband doing yours or his?
He did that once, and I don't think he's ever allowed to do it again. He pokes really hard.
On you?
Yeah. So he's done his own makeup. He's done his own drag makeup before. I've done makeup on him. It's just including things that people make that will make them laugh. During lockdown,
yep,
I was allowed to experiment with hair dye on my husband.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Gosh, that was funny.
Not a hairdresser, not qualified. And I think that's what made it such hilarious content and entertainment for people. So I discovered very quickly that people enjoy seeing that sort of funny stuff. And so I include him in a few things. I also know that people are interested in things that they might not have tried before. So that's why I like to talk about things like eyebrow tattooing, home laser hair removal, just random things like that people would like to know more about and might not have tested and tried themselves. So it's, you have to keep on top of your own insights in your Facebook pages and groups. Yep. And then you can see the things that people are interested in the most. And then you can use that to make yourself a plan about what you want to do next.
Oh, I hope everyone's listening to this, because this is gold in itself. Insights, looking at what's working. I feel like it's like I've told you what to say. Thank you. It is, guys, so important to be constantly looking at what's working, because your audience is telling you what they want to see more of. Now, one of the things that I'm observing about what you've been doing is a lot of the stuff you're doing is kind of edgy, but it's also very unique. And that's what's standing out to me, is that you're being yourself and you're doing stuff that's unique. Because I think some people might be listening to this going, well, my husband's not going to want to get involved, or, I don't do eyebrow tattooing, or I don't want to, I don't know how to do a video talking about, what goes on behind the scenes. But the thing is that it's not about being anybody else. It's not about saying, hey, I need to be like Jacqui. It's about you just simply being yourself and talking about the things that your audience is likely to have in common with you and want to chat about. And so I think you've sort of cottoned on to the uniqueness of your own personality, and you're having fun with that. And I think that's fantastic.
Can I just add to something that you were talking about right there, is that it is about being you, flaws and all. So my followers know I don't do eyeliner. Like, I can't, it's impossible. I try, it's a hot mess. And, but that's just an example. So it's not just about what can you do, what can't you do. Put your whole self out there and be honest, be transparent, show the real you in every way. I mean, oh my goodness, like my house is not impeccable, let me tell you. And
I don't know that. Can I just say that wall behind you is absolutely spectacular?
That's why the camera's pointing this way.
Yeah. Every time I look at one of your videos, I have to ask, is that like
paper?
It is stuck on the wall. It is 3D.
Yes. So they were made by a beautiful woman in WA, and you could pretty much color design anything that you want to. And I love the blues, the grays, the whites. And so they are paper. I did make the mistake of using double-sided sticky tape when we first did it. And then when James and I went to bed, we heard as they all came dropping off to the ground. So now there's a lot of blue tack on that wall, but they've held up strong. But this part is impeccable for a reason, but that part over there is a hot mess because I'm not organized, but my followers know that I'm not. Like, I don't just show this in my stories. They see everything. They see the 4 loads of washing that I haven't done. They see the messy area that I've been meaning to clean, and I've gotten some IKEA cool little drawers that I'm trying to make a difference in my office area with. But show everything because that's what's relatable.
Yeah, perfect.
Not relatable.
That's so good. And so tell me, like, is your business now, I'm assuming, but I shouldn't assume, is your business now your full-time job? Like, you're doing this 100% of the time? Are you out of working for the man now?
It is now. took me a couple of years before I made that decision, because it was a really big decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for the government, the man. That's good. That's a good description. And I was part-time, like I said, 2 young children.
Yep.
I was working 4 days a week, and they were long days to try and make up for that last day. They wanted me to work They wanted me to work a full week. They wanted me to be full-time. And at that point where they were pushing me to come back, my business was raging. I was making more money with Senegence than I was with the government job. Wow. Government job also, though, it's like 15% superannuation. You can never get fired from a government job. Like the security, like the devil and angel on my shoulder at the time.
Yep.
And, can I quit a government gig that I've been in for 10 years?
Yeah.
To go to a direct selling company full time, internal battle was hard, but it just made no sense, because I thought if I could invest all these days that I'm at work Monday to Friday into this business that I'm actually enjoying, there was such a big difference in satisfaction, job satisfaction. So I've always loved my jobs. I've always been good at them, and I've always enjoyed. I'm basically a team leader in all the gigs that I've ever done. I spent 10 years at Optus as a team leader in call centers, a couple of years with ANZ in the same thing, and then 10 years with the government in call centers, because I like to lead teams of people to achieve great things. However, the government was all about, I had to coach people to do their jobs.
Yep.
Whereas with Senegence, I'm coaching people to build their own businesses, and they come to me. Like, I don't have to go to them and say, can you please come to work on time? They come to me and
yes,
they want it. And so the feeling of purpose is just so much better. So it was just, even though it was a hard decision, it kind of was easy at the same time, because it was just, it ended up being a no-brainer. It just made no sense to continue doing the 9-to-5 grind when I could enjoy the flexibility that I now have.
So, Jacqui, what do you think has attributed to you achieving such great growth so quickly in your business? I know a lot of people listening right now will be going, how do I get so much success in such a short period of time? Why do you think you've done so well?
I like you said short, and I'm like, it's kind of 6 years.
Well, initially your first year, you achieved over 600,000, and your team was growing rapidly, right? What happened in that first year? What was because, it sounds like for the most part, you were really just passionate about the product and sharing it with people. Was there more to it than that?
I was about to say that it's come down to, and that passion is pretty much the word that would have come straight out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's been consistent because I've never lost it. Mm-hmm. I'm lucky that the products are amazing, because if all of a sudden the lipstick started coming off, I'd be like, oh, I can't do this anymore, because this isn't the product that I fell in love with. Or if the skincare just wasn't living up to the expectations, or something was to change and I'd lost the passion because the products didn't work anymore, then, potentially I'm not going to continue to work for a company where I'm not as passionate about the products. Yeah. But it's still exciting. I don't get bored with it. I've got never-ending content, never ending. The pool of what I can do with these products and industry really is never ending. So I don't get bored. And I think one of the main keys for me is, in the government gig, me as a team leader and someone else as a team leader, I could be working my little tush off and we would still get paid the same, even though this one's called in sick, every second Friday and doesn't do half the work, but we get paid the same. So I'm inspired to keep working hard, because I know that my actions equal outcomes, and that the harder that I work, the more effort that I put in, the more people I help, the better my bank balance is going to be at the end of the day. And I'm responsible for it.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome. And so when it comes to your business, how much time would you spend in your business each week? What do you, because you've got your 2 beautiful kids, you've got your amazing husband, and then you've got your business. So how are you going time-wise? What do you spend per week in your business right now?
I actually spoke to my husband about this morning, because it's a funny question, because my day is not a normal day in anyone's book. Like, I'm blessed because my husband also works from home. He's got a couple of businesses that he runs. Yep. So I don't even have to do the school drop-off. But if I wanted to, I could. And if I if I need to, if he's on a trip somewhere or doing something, I can, and I don't have to ask a boss to, can I take the morning off?
I take time off. Yep.
So he does all that stuff in the morning. I jump on the treadmill. So that's my thing. First thing in the morning, I get up and I jump on my treadmill, and that's my time. Then I come out into my office area, and first thing I do is pack my orders from the previous night so that I get them done and dusted, because if I don't and I leave it to the last minute and James is running to the post office, I'm like, wait, please, just, So I've got a system in place about what I do so that I don't run myself into a hot mess later on in the day.
Yep.
Then I might do stuff around the house because I don't have a set structure. So I might put on the washing, might sit in the washing machine for 3 days after that, but still I'll put it on.
That's mum's life right there.
I do that. And then I'll come back and then I'll do some more of either some of my admin. I might contact customers. I may or may not play makeup, because after my kids go to bed is pretty much when most of my work starts. So the average person might be finished, but I'll be honest, the kids will come home from school, we'll do some quick work together, play together, cook dinner, shower, bed, and they're in bed by 7:30. So come 8:30 up until pretty, I'm going to say too late. But this is why my routine's different, but I love it this way. That's my work time. I go live, I do makeup. I put my makeup on late at night. It's madness, but that's when a lot of my customers have got the time to watch. So that's what I do. And then I'll spend the rest of the time chatting with people and communicating, and, I might do stories and things like that, and then off with the makeup and into bed. And then it just starts again the next day. So it's kind of hard to gauge how many hours in a day. Some days it might be only 2 hours. Other days it might be a good 6-7 hours. Yesterday, I got to cuddle my niece who's 6 days old.
I saw the gorgeous photographs.
6-day-old baby. 2 hours. I got to sit with a baby on me for 2 hours.
Yeah, you did look a little clucky. I'm just going to throw that one out there.
Yeah. I don't have time. But it's nice to be able to have the flexibility to know that I can go and help my little sister out and, sit with her for a couple of hours, knowing full well that I've got the flexibility to add some working hours in later in the day or in the evening. And it's what's fantastic about that. I don't have to worry about asking permission. I can just make it up when I need to make it up.
Isn't it an amazing industry for that reason, that you're able to essentially dictate how it rolls for you? If you get what you said earlier, you get what you put in, and that's obviously where you've grown an amazing business. So I do want to come back to that. I know there was a culture question I meant to ask a little bit earlier, but I just want to stay on what we're talking about here for a moment. And just ask, what is working for you in your business right now, and what's not working? What observations have you made, say, in 2021 that's working in your business right now?
Okay, so something that's been consistent from lockdown onwards, definitely for sure, has been consistent stories on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep.
So I love doing them, and the feedback that I get from them and the outcomes has been measurable. So I am going to keep on top of my stories.
Is that on your business page, personal profile, a bit of both?
Mostly Instagram, and it connects to my Facebook. So I only have to do one set of stories and it automatically delivers it to my Facebook business page and my Instagram business page. Every now and again, I'm throwing some on my personal page, but my personal page is what gets ignored the most when it comes to stories. Reels are a big one. I enjoy making reels and TikToks. They're kind of the same thing, just different platforms, but they're a bit of fun, and you can have a little bit of, it's creative entertainment. So those are good fun. Messenger sales are what's happening in my team and are quite big at the moment. So it's almost like a typical Facebook event or a Facebook group you might set up, but instead it's a messenger group for those that want to be part of it. And then you can advertise in the group, and people are more likely to be able to go and have a look at the products, scroll back. You could have some sort of a promo on where buy 3 or 4 products, you can choose from one of these free gifts. I'm not big on discounting at all. I don't like, 15% off. It's just not my thing. I feel like it undervalues products, and they're too good to undervalue. So people pay full price for them, so we don't need to discount them all the time. I'm very passionate about that, actually. But free gifts is different. So adding in, inexpensive free gifts when they make multiple purchases. And most of the girls in my team that have given this a try so far have been doing anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 worth of sales over a couple of hours.
Wow. Okay.
So that's been what's working really well so far this year.
Love it. Okay. And so what about the things that are not working or have not worked this year? Maybe things that have worked for you in the past that you've noticed, you know what, these things are just not working for me now.
When you say we get a new product, a new color or a shade or something, and we just post it on our social media, just with new, this is new. That's always what gets the least interaction. And it's like Facebook just knows what it is, and they're like, nah, not today. But what I do know is when I get that color in and I go live, or I show it on my reels, or I show it on my stories, that gets far more traction than just popping up a plain old boring business post.
Yeah, I love it. And this is just preaching to the converted here, because this is what we're seeing lots of people doing, is the sharing, the announcement, the product sales post, all this sort of stuff. And they're wondering why it doesn't work. And the thing is, guys, look, we've got someone here who has got an amazing following. She's got a team of over 1,000 people. Her team's achieving over $2 million US per year. And yet those posts don't work for her either. So that's probably a really good reminder that, you know what, it's just that sort of stuff doesn't work. So,
and people will wait if you're constantly doing, hey, I'm going to do 15% off because it's Friday, or I'm going to do 15% off because it's my birthday month. People will wait for a sale, and they're not just going to purchase the products when they want them. And that's something that I wholeheartedly believe. So if you are just providing valuable content by showing them solving problems, offering solutions for things, then they're more likely to go, oh, and obviously every business is different, and I'm not going to be good at explaining anything other than probably skincare and makeup. But, if you're offering a solution for dark circles, or if you're offering a solution to, fill in a patchy brow, or, that's something that people are going to pay attention to instead of, look, new product.
Yep. I love it. So good. So we've got to wrap up, because, we've been chatting away for ages here, but I do want to just come back to something we spoke about earlier, which was culture. You mentioned when you sign people up, around about 50% of those people become active in their business's team, and 50% as customers. And I asked you the question, what do you attribute to having, because 50% of people becoming active in their business is actually really huge and something for you to be super proud of. So big virtual high five from me over here. But what do you attribute to the reason that you're converting so many over to the business?
So you remember how I said that the recognition kind of got me sucked in a little bit when I first joined?
Yeah.
I'm trying to create an environment in my teem group. So my team are called the Beauty Spots, and
by the way, love that name. So good.
It's cute. I've got a team group on Facebook. Inside that group, I have it. I'm not even going to say it's set up well, because I'm not an admin person, don't enjoy it, not my thing. But we've got some units set up with some information in it. There's a bunch of albums that we've thrown in there full of helpful pictures and things that people can use. But what's the most valuable resource in there are the men. There's a few men, but mostly women that are in that group that are willing to answer questions. They're supportive, they're positive, they're inspirational, they're going the way, showing the way. The culture in my team is everyone succeeds. The rising tide lifts all the boats. There's no cattiness, no negativity, no suki-lalas, no whingers. It is just women supporting women to be successful. And I think that's what shows when I get newbies into the group. They see what it's like. They get a taste for it. They might see someone celebrating the fact that they did a messenger sale and got $2,000, and it meant that they could either spend $1,000 worth of, on products for themselves, or they could take the cash and do something else with it. But it's showing them the potential and the possibility, and that they can dip their big toe in and see what it's like and give it a crack.
Yeah. So good. So you've obviously created this beautiful culture. And I think what I can tell is not just that that's amazing for the growth of your business, but you have got so much joy just when you're talking about your team. I can tell how much you enjoy working, not just in the business yourself, but also working with these guys. And that's just, beautiful to watch. So yeah.
I've got friends I didn't know I needed. Like, I had friends, I still have friends. And I remember when this first started 6 years ago that, I'm like, I don't need more. I'm full. My life is full. I'm good. And then now I couldn't even imagine my life without all of these people. I've got friends around the world that I've been very blessed to be able to travel with and go on some company trips with. And I speak to these women on a daily basis. And I couldn't even imagine how it would be empty without them.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. And, is it just such a great reminder that this is such a beautiful, connected industry? I love it so much for all of those reasons. And having these chats is just one of those times that I feel those little pangs of, oh man, I miss being in the business. But I also know, we've got, just like what you were saying before, being able to help people and see them grow their business as you're doing in your way for us is just so powerful and incredibly it just brings so much joy for us too. And we get to connect and make friends with people in just the same way, but talking about social media rather than lipstick.
Yes, you do. Your mission's just changed.
It's just changed. So one last question for you, probably the most important question of the lot. What is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is brand new to this business, to this industry?
Oh, one of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to start to get great.
Oh,
And
love it.
well, you know what? People keep thinking, oh, I have to do all this research and I have to make sure I've got business cards, or I have to make sure that I've got everything set up and it's got to be perfect.
Yep.
If you wait for perfection, nothing's going to happen. I would rather someone throw themselves in at 50% than hesitate and procrastinate and then give up. So it's just so much better to just launch yourself in, learn on the job and have fun with it. Do the stuff that brings you joy, because that's what's going to keep you going at all times.
Love it so much. Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us today, Jacqui. I really appreciate your time, and it's been such a beautiful chat. So many gold nuggets in there.
I hope so.
Oh, no, I love it. I think there's going to be lots of people that are listening to this episode going, you know what, I'm going to write that one down. I'm going to write that one down too. It's been very inspirational chatting with you. I really appreciate you taking your time out, and I can't wait to see where your business grows to next. I think what an amazing journey for you and your family. So well done.
I'm really hoping that maybe this year might be the year we break that $2 million and we end up at 3. That would be really cool. Like, I'm not going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen, because it's still amazing to keep that consistency of 2 million, but 3 million would be kind of nice.
It would be nice. I'll be there celebrating with you. I think that's an amazing goal. And can I just say again, well done. I love that you are so positive and upbeat. And I love that it's about helping people and providing value, whether they're a customer or in the business. Keep asking the question, guys. Remember what Jacqui said. It's just giving them choices, and don't judge where people are at, what they're going to say. Ask the question. So thank you so much, Jacqui. Really appreciate you. And I can't wait to see what happens next. Go 3 million for 2021.
Thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Pleasure. All right. So thanks so much for joining us, Jacqui. We're going to leave you all with that for today. Go away, implement some of those little tips and tricks in your business, and just remember that there's no perfect, but you've got to get out there and do the work. So I love that you mentioned as well, Jacqui, you don't have to be perfect. The business card thing. So right. I see people, I'm not going to launch my Facebook page until it's 100% perfect. Get out there and do it. So thank you very much. We're going to leave you all there with that today. Look forward to seeing you all again next week. Bye for now.